Question. Environmental problems are becoming a global issue, and therefore, some people suggest that environmental problems should be solved on a global scale. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Model answer 1. Agreement. Environmental problems have escalated into a global crisis, prompting discussions about the most effective strategies for resolution. Some people suggest that global initiatives are the best measures to address this, and I firmly agree that these issues should be addressed on a global scale rather than a national level due to the interconnected nature of environmental challenges and the need for collaborative efforts. To begin with, many environmental problems, such as climate change and pollution, transcend national borders, affecting the population and ecosystem of the entire planet. For instance, carbon emissions from one country contribute to the global climate crisis, impacting weather patterns, sea levels, and ecosystems worldwide. So such issues should be dealt with internationally to bring out the best results. If they're left alone for individual nations to deal with, the whole world will face dire consequences if this nation fails to solve it. Moreover, addressing environmental issues globally allows for the pooling of resources, knowledge, and technologies. Countries can collaborate to develop comprehensive solutions and enforce international regulations, creating a unified front against environmental degradation. The Montreal Protocol, which successfully phased out ozone-depleting substances globally, exemplifies the effectiveness of global cooperation in tackling environmental challenges. This approach fosters a sense of shared responsibility, recognizing that the consequences of environmental problems are collective and require joint action. In conclusion, the global nature of environmental problems necessitates a collaborative and unified response. By addressing these challenges on a global scale, nations can harness collective knowledge and resources to develop effective solutions and safeguard the planet for the well-being of present and future generations. Sample answer 2. Agreement. Some environmental problems are regional, like cyclones, and some others are global, greenhouse effects, for instance. With the span of time, many environmental problems are becoming global issues. Some people thus advocate for global initiatives to tackle those environmental issues. I agree with this view as I believe that global initiatives will bring the best result in this scenario, and it will also make the world a better place to live in. To begin with, environmental problems are generally caused by human activities and most of them are global concerns. Air or water pollution at a time remains a national problem, but after a certain period, it would turn into a problem for the whole world. Thus, if some environmental problems are left unaddressed due to their span in a country, they would soon become a problem for all nations. This is why those problems should be addressed globally. Moreover, not all nations are equally competent to address issues of such magnitude due to their economic and political reasons. This is why affluent nations should extend their helping hands to solve environmental problems in such poor nations. There is no denying that industrial nations cause more global warming, so they need to build a common platform to bring all nations together to fight environmental problems. For a poor country, it is quite tough to allocate a budget to tackle environmental issues while millions of its population are suffering from hunger and natural disasters. This is why rich nations have natural obligations to help those poor or developing nations. To draw the conclusion, global environmental problems like greenhouse effects, global warming etc. have already become a concern for every nation. A global effort to address these problems would be a better strategy as each nation is not equally adept at solving global problems. Sample answer 3. Partial agreement. Environmental problems greatly vary in terms of their magnitudes, and some of these are local, while others are global, the greenhouse effect or global warming for example. For the best outcome, these sorts of problems should be addressed at the most appropriate levels, sometimes even at multiple levels. To begin with, some environmental problems are generally caused by a group of people in a particular region, and these issues get accelerated by the rapid expansion of industrialization in this region. These sorts of problems often include noise pollution, air pollution, deforestation, intoxicating waste disposal etc., and these are generally national in nature. It is better to address these types of environmental problems at the national level, and educating people is a viable solution in this scenario. International aid sometimes can help a poor or developing country to address environmental problems, but the government of the country should take initiatives to solve such national problems. Having said that, some environmental problems, for instance, common river, coastline or sea pollution, concern more than one country, and those sorts of problems should be addressed at a bilateral level. Similarly, if an environmental problem concerns a large region, for instance, a continent, that should be discussed and fought by the countries that are located on this continent. Some common examples of such environmental problems are desertification, soil erosion, aridness and floods. Finally, some environmental problems pervade across national boundaries and call for multinational or global collaboration. For example, radioactive industrial wastage in oceans, ozone layer degradation, and global warming are global issues, and these types of problems should be addressed by every single nation in the world. For greater success and effectiveness, I believe that the commitment of countries, especially rich nations, is quite important. To conclude, environmental problems are real and they threaten the very existence of animals, plants and humans on this planet. We need to address them immediately on regional, national and global scales based on their magnitudes and nature.